Oh my word.
Yeah.
Well, I'm digging the Nobel theme. I've got a few other human achievements coming up which aren't Nobelish, but we'll stick with the Nobelish thing. And once again, me, a proudly South African Nobel thing. And no, I'm not
nice.
talking about Nelson or
Nelly-
Desmond or
Nelly
Effia.
M.
Effia got it. He shared it with Nelson, and then Desmond got it another time. But I'm talking about literature. We have two winners. Two winners. And I'm talking about the first winner. Wikipedia still has a picture of the old South African flag, but maybe it's because it was 1991.
It's the person who wrote Trompi, is that right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And the Boxombender.
Yeah,
I love that song.
whoever wrote Trompi and the Boxombender has definitely won a Nobel Prize, I'm sure.
So there's a lady, and I must show my ignorance here that I know very little about her, Nadine Gordimer.
Okay.
She won a Nobel Prize. It doesn't say for what. It's not like winning an Oscar. Well, it's supposed to be the work you've done in the previous year, or could it be over your life? I'm not sure how they adjudicate
No, they
it.
do. Yeah, they do say what you won it for. They generally give it a sentence.
Do they? So
Yeah,
Tom
and I
Cruise
think-
for Jerry Maguire.
I'm gonna put you like I'm gonna make you very uncomfortable now because I'm gonna tell you what hers basically said. Like, because hers basically said something like for contribution to enriching the world, to make the world a better place, or
So it
something
wasn't
like
for
along those lines. Yeah.
a book or two
No,
books.
it was for
Wasn't
all of her books. Yeah, it was for. Yeah, because she had
Burger's Daughter, July's People are two of the big ones.
She had 3 books banned by the apartheid government. She was obviously like her works were quite anti-apartheid and quite like but subtly so. They spoke about life in South Africa, but in a subtle way. She does have the one, and I've forgotten the title of it, where she kind of writes about how white people are being oppressed.
Really?
It's like this kind of like flip system, which in the middle of in the middle
You
of
mean
apartheid.
psychologically oppressed?
No. Like so she writes it as a flipped society. She's like, imagine if this was your family that was being oppressed. Yeah, she's got the one, and that one's kind of overtly political, but most of them are quite subtly political. Sort of a Margaret Atwoody sort of vibe.
Why?
Yeah.
Well, that's amazing. My fact about her was a very pleasant fact because I say she was born in Springs.
Yeah, she was.
I have a Springs
Yeah,
connection.
she was born in Springs, and in fact. Shame, Ryan. You've dived yourself right into my area of expertise, unfortunately.
Yes. You're right. Let's just take that little box.
Yeah, no.
She was born in Springs.
So she was, and I think it was about 11, and she was in a store in Springs when she watched
7-Eleven.
No, she was 11 years old. She was 11. Oh, how much of that beer have you finished? No, she was in a store in Springs, and she witnessed a thing where a white store owner wouldn't sell a black guy a pair of pants on lay-by, but insisted that he pay for it up front. And she was she at 11, she was like, no, that's not right. This guy's being treated badly. And then her first book, I think she published it about 15 or 16. She got her first published work. I don't know if it was a book.
Yes.
At about 15 or 16, and I think she herself said, if I'd been born in some other country, I may not have been political, because it was she said I was just kind of writing stories about the people around me and the things around me. She said because South Africa was like that, and because I was noticing these things, that's what I happened to write about. And ultimately, got 3 books banned by the government. But I think because she was never actively calling for the dismantling of the apartheid government openly, everything was quite subtly done. They never arrested her or threw her in prison or did any of that stuff. But she was definitely and at the end, Nelson Mandela said that he read her unbanned books in prison, and that they'd given him an idea of how white liberals think. And he never said whether that was positive or negative. To his he was a politician. So he never said whether he thought the way that white liberals think is good or bad. He just said, no, reading Nadine Gordimer gave me an insight into that. But they wound up being friends, I think.
Yes, well, do you know that she helped him with his Rivonia trial speech?
I did not know.
Yeah, she did. She edited it for him. And he was one of the first people, she was one of the first people he visited coming out of prison. So they were definitely friends, and she's a big player, and she got into politics as well. And to me, it's South Africa did funny things to people in the past, like even Gandhi didn't intend going into politics. Nadine Gordimer didn't intend going into politics.
Yeah.
I don't even think Nelson Mandela intended going into
I
politics.
think Nelson Mandela did, and I think it's good, and I think he was one of the few that was politically astute enough. You know, like his friendship with Nadine Gordimer is, I think,
Yes.
a very
But
clear
when he came
indication
to
of astute
Joburg,
politics.
it was more just to be a lawyer and family.
I mean, he said
and-
he came to Joburg because all the ladies were here. That's what he said. I mean, whether that was the reason or not, who knows? But you know, at his, I think it was inauguration speech, he read Eintjie Krog.
Mm-hmm.
That was not a mistake. You know, like his friendship with Nadine Gordimer was unlikely to have been a mistake. It was clearly an offer of reconciliation. So yeah, but yeah, Nadine Gordimer is, and she brings up a sort of an interesting point for me, because she's the only female winner. South Africa's got 11 Nobel Prize winners, and she's the only woman. And then you think, oh, well, maybe South Africa's like that, but that's not the case at all. Like around the world, almost 1,000 Nobel Prizes have been given, and this is leading directly onto my next fact.